If you love God, subscribe to this channel. Now, you may watch the video.
For years, Abraham and Sarah waited. Not for money, not for success, not for fame. They prayed for one child. Year after year, nothing happened. Their hair turned gray. Their bodies grew older. People probably whispered, "They're too old now." But then, God did the impossible. Sarah gave birth to a son. His name was Isaac. Imagine the joy. Every laugh, every step, every smile reminded Abraham that God keeps his promises. Isaac wasn't just a son. He was the miracle they had waited decades to hold. Abraham loved him more than words could ever describe. Everything God had promised seemed to rest on this one boy. Then one morning, God spoke again. But this time, the message was different. It wasn't a promise. It was a test. God said, "Take your son, your only son, whom you love, and go to the mountain I will show you." The next words must have stopped Abraham's heart. Offer him there. Silence. No explanation. No reason. Just trust. Early the next morning, Abraham prepared the journey. He didn't tell everyone what God had asked. He simply obeyed. Isaac walked beside him, carrying the wood, talking to his father, completely unaware of what was happening. Can you imagine what Abraham felt? Every step must have been painful. Every conversation must have broken his heart. Finally, Isaac looked at his father and asked, "Father, we have the fire and the wood, but where is the lamb?" Abraham paused, then answered with faith, "God himself will provide the lamb." Those weren't just words. They were hope. Hope that somehow God would remain faithful even when nothing made sense. Sometimes, faith isn't having all the answers. Faith is taking the next step when you don't understand the road. They reached the mountain. Abraham built the altar. He arranged the wood. Then, with tears in his eyes, he embraced Isaac. The mountain became silent. The wind slowed. He lifted the knife, still trusting that somehow God would keep his promise. Then suddenly, a voice thundered from heaven. "Abraham! Abraham!" He stopped instantly. The angel of the Lord said, "Do not lay a hand on the boy." At that very moment, Abraham looked up. A ram was caught by its horns in a nearby bush. God had provided exactly what Abraham needed. The sacrifice was never Isaac. The lesson was trust. Abraham named that place, "The Lord will provide." And thousands of years later, people still remember that mountain. Because that's where God showed the world that he never abandons those who trust him. Maybe today, you're standing on your own mountain. Maybe God has asked you to trust him with something precious. Your future, your family, your finances, your health, or a dream you've held on to for years. And maybe you don't understand why this season feels so difficult. Abraham didn't understand either. But he discovered something that every believer needs to know. God sees farther than we do. What looked like the end became the place where God's provision appeared. Faith doesn't always remove the difficult journey. Sometimes, faith carries you through it. So if you're facing a mountain today, don't stop climbing. Because the same God who provided for Abraham is still faithful. He still sees. He still knows. He still provides. If you're choosing to trust God today, comment, "God will provide." Red heart like this video. Share it with someone who is facing an impossible situation. Subscribe for powerful Bible stories that strengthen your faith. And remember, God never asked Abraham to understand everything. He asked him to trust. And God's faithfulness met Abraham on the mountain.